Hey, so kind of wanted to. I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I should just talk about how I got into robotic sales, actually. So, I got when COVID happened, I got hit with COVID, and I had like a really bad experience. Like my life was probably never in danger, but it really felt like it was. Like that's how it had me feeling. And it's a kind of a bittersweet experience for me because if you ever hear this quote, one of the quotes is like a man truly lives his life when his second life begins when he realizes he only has one life. It's like basically when you realize like wow, like I could die, and and this whole time I could have been living someone else's life. So when I had that realization, I was like, man, like I didn't want to be working in corporate America in the automotive industry for like 10 plus years. That wasn't supposed to happen. That just came out of nowhere. Like I wasn't trying to do that. I always want to do my own thing. I wanted to survive and be my own person, live on my own merits. And but I was like, well, how can I get to there? And I was like, well, first I need to I want to do something that's like exciting though. Kind of segue my way in there. And so I wanted to like learn like more of the futuristic stuff. So I was like, man, you know what? I started learning how to invest a few years before that. So I've always been tapped into like what Gartner and different the World Economic Forum was saying the world was heading. World of Industry 4.0 or whatever. And so to me, it was like, okay, we're going either in AI, we're going towards Internet of Things, we're going towards robotics, we're going towards the electric vehicle, autonomous driving. So we're moving into this world of like autonomous robots, and that told me, like I want to kind of work in one of those fields because that's where the future is, right? That's where everything is going to be. So if you're in it now, you could be one of the people who's one of the pioneers, in the beginning of it all. And so I just took the chance. I interviewed with a lot of different AI and robotic companies. And one guy I interviewed, Stefan, he was really cool. And I was really talking to him. He was like, we really hit it off. And he was like, I want you to meet some of the rest of the team. And I went through like 6 interviews, 6 final interviews. Matter of fact, I was in Carnival in Miami, and I had an interview with with the vice president or some the vice president at the time, and it was like crazy because it was supposed to be like my last interview. But before that, I was supposed to have been just waiting for the offer. But they was like, I want you to meet the vice president. And so I talked to him on the phone. No, actually, he had a Zoom. Actually, got a link, had a Zoom in between parties. Like I'm like, bro, this is crazy. But it went well. We really hit it off. We really cool. We still friends we got friends on LinkedIn. I still hit them up every once in a while for like advice, how to improve, how to be better, and like what type of careers I could kind of head into if I want to like progress even further. And yeah, like that was the kind of the beginning. And I learned from that. Like it was basically me learning about other stuff that really opened the way for me to get into that position. Learning about financial markets, learning about emerging technologies, learning about where people are going to invest their money and learning how businesses are run, operating expenses, the EBITDA, learning all these things and earnings and reading earning reports actually made me seem like I was more aware than other candidates, even though I might not even really have been. I just found those things fascinating. I learned about them to make money, for investments. But it wasn't like I knew the technology in and out. I knew how it worked, but the way I understood how those things would affect the world is really ultimately what really sold me and my understanding to employers. Because what I was seeing, I wasn't talking about the product. They didn't care that much about me talking about the product. I saw how it's going to impact people, how it's going to impact businesses, how it's going to help save them money, make them more money, make them automate their businesses, and allow them to do more productive stuff. See, when you can understand the psychology of how technology advances stuff, and you can see that vision, that's what people love. And so my capabilities of being able to do that is how I went from there. And then moving on to, I got laid off. I mean, actually me and the whole department. And I actually moved to a different company, one of my dream companies. And I really was like excited, you know, I was bold. I was like, man, like you guys was one of the companies that got me excited about robotics. And it was crazy because like, I never even thought I would be able to apply there. Got in, and it was crazy that the world is interested right now. So long term, I'm bullish on robotics, right? But there's a lot of like investments where people want to investors that want to see short term returns, and they're not willing to wait. And so companies were going through these cycles of like trying to be lean as possible. Not necessarily it's probably gonna kill employee morale, but they're going through these leans, trying to make as much money, and then they cut expenses, and then which means just cut layoffs. But through this whole time, like I've been only progressing as I've been only progressing. Crazy, right? I had these conversations. I'll be honest. I'll be telling people, and it just basically still accelerates me. I've still been moving on up, and I'm learning things, and I'm getting better at things. I'm being more willing to take on risks and responsibilities, and now I'm doing things that's like, wow, that's great. Like I'm looking at myself like I didn't even think I wasn't really thinking I was gonna even get to this position, but hey, here I am. And so I say that, man, to say like, man, like don't let imposter syndrome hold you back. Don't let like those doubts in your head, you know, hold you back. You can do whatever you want to do. Set your mind to it. Cause I'll tell you what, these people don't be knowing what they be doing either. They be winging it. You know, they figure out, they just have the gall to really go out there and get it. So don't be, you know, go out there and get it. Seriously.